Alright, so welcome everybody to the 2019 Super Mario Brothers Warpless tournament. Today we're gonna commentate another match for round 2 of the bracket against we have Darpey against Flexrator. Looks like the race had just started. With me there's GTAce 99. So anything, any comment about these two runners? Pretty good runners. So.
Darpey here on the left has a 1917 with small fire, and then Flexa over here to the right has a 1931 PB. I'm not sure if he just went big fire or not. But yeah, their PBs are very close, very, very respectable, very good. So this should be a close race. So yeah, it should be really fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. They are actually also their seedings are pretty close, so definitely expect a quite close race. So also I would like to underline already different strats from both players. Looks like Flexrator is gonna go with Big Mario strat, and no surprise to see Darpey still small.
And yeah, he's gonna go set up small fire.
Or small fire later, so he will play 1-2 as small Mario. It's pretty risky, by the way, because there are a couple of tight jumps, but he just decided to tackle safely. And then he will have to do a pretty tricky power of grabbing 1-3 in the next level, and then doing a small fire glitch. We will talk about later when we get there. For Flexrator instead, he already collected all the power-ups he needed, so he can simply go straight until from now on, unless he gets hit again, he doesn't need to care about power-ups anymore.
Yeah, Darpey's gonna, even though he's ahead right now, he's gonna fall behind because he's gonna have to re-grab his power-ups in 2-1 after he sets up the glitch.
Yeah, exactly.
But then he'll be small fire and have a chance to be more consistent throughout his run, and it might help him get the win.
Yeah, definitely. With a small fire Mario, Darpey will be able to close the gap as the race will go, since many parts are actually faster and easier to pull off with the small fire trick. That Darpey is gonna
get a garbage Bowser.
Yeah, to execute right now. He gets it. So as you can see now, Mario flashes in a very weird way. So what happened is that Mario actually took the hit, but he didn't change his status. So right now you see a small big Mario hitbox, but in reality is small Mario. And now you see that small Mario in reality is big Mario. And with the next power up, Mario will gather the fire flower power with all the benefits from having the fire, and also unifying the benefits of having a small hitbox. So a pretty in a pretty hybrid state where you have both the advantages of being small and having fire. And we will see Darpey abusing these quite a lot in the race.
And it's unfortunate, in 1-4 for Darpey, Bowser jumped forward, so he had to wait for Bowser to come back because you need him to set up the glitch. So he lost about 3 seconds just because he had a bad Bowser pattern. Yeah, so that's another thing in this game. A lot of enemy patterns are pretty random, so you have to react to them, and what you get, you just have to deal with it.
Yes, if you execute a level at full speed and you know exactly which frame you are entering a level, you can predict in advance the pattern. Unfortunately, Flexrator gets a hit here at the bottleneck.
Yeah, that was a good barricade of sea creatures there. It would have been hard to get through there at all.
Yeah, the bottleneck was pretty crowded. He tried to go full speed, but unfortunately for him, there were just too much enemies, too much cheeps. Ooh, that was pretty close.
Talking about bad patterns, here's a good example right now.
Yeah, when you don't have fire and you have a chip on your way exactly in the part in the line you're supposed to take, it can be pretty tricky. But I mean, you can simply just slow down and take it safely, but never fun having a chip in front of the pipe waiting for you. And but don't worry, things will get worse in 7-2, but this can be done even by blockers. So.
Oh, he's actually going for this mushroom here. The Chiefs are jumping up randomly, basically, so it's very hard to grab that power-up without taking a hit. So it's pretty amazing that he's made it through with getting the power-up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Flex will be forced to slow down a little bit to avoid the 6 on the timer, because you want to recall that by stopping the timer, the flagpole at certain unidigit times, 6 and 3, you get some fireworks, and actually fireworks makes you lose a lot of time because you have to wait for the fireworks to be shot before loading the next level. So you can lose from 3 to 6 seconds because of that. And right now we have a pretty close race. Both players are on 2-4. A little bit of...
Barely getting that Bowser kill.
The Flexator had some little bit of trouble at taking down Bowser quickly because he dodged a couple of shots. He has to sneak underneath him and finish him off from the back. But he actually succeeded in the process, so he can move on. Pretty close race.
If you're wondering why they're slowing down to kill Bowser, it's because it's actually faster. If you just grab the axe, the bridge falls, Bowser falls with it. It loses about 2.5 seconds. If you just killed him, it's much faster. So that's why you want to not only have fire, but to kill Bowser at the end of every level.
Yeah, exactly. And but players at 3-1. Flex Retro had a little bit of bonking in the final circuit. That's actually a pretty scary spot. It's very easy to get hit by those Koopas, so I don't blame him for taking it slowly. At this stage, what really matters is just preserving the power-up and avoiding unnecessary time wasted, like by taking random hits from enemies that can actually catch you off guard. And in these levels that apparently doesn't seem that hard, that's really pretty easy to just, I mean, having a couple of seconds where you are not fully focused and just get hit is very easy. So in this phase where actually levels are pretty easy, it's very important to keep focused and not underestimate anything, because taking a hit in every moment can be lethal, especially in this game. Alright, Darpey just finished 3-3, and now we are entering into a pretty tricky level, 3-4. And here, reacting to what Podobos and Fireball do is very important, because players don't know the movements of the enemies they will encounter. So
you're gonna see some slowdown here.
So you either react or slow down. The clean kill for Darpey. Let's see Flex Retro again. As before, the slowdown in front of Bowser. Then Bowser jumped. He was trying to kill him as he was going, but then Bowser jumped again. So he had to finish him off from the back. And this
Bowser's being quite mean for Flex here.
Yeah. This caused him to lose a little bit of time, but not too much. Okay, Flex Retro is slightly behind, but I think that, I mean, how many seconds between these two? Probably 4 or 5 seconds. No,
yeah, only a few. It's still very close.
Yeah, it's super close. And especially for Darpey, it will be very important to preserve the power-up, and especially not dying, because if Darpey dies, he will lose the small fire status. So he would have to rebuild again by even trying the glitch somewhere else, or simply just dropping the idea of playing as small Mario. So
yeah, it's also important to note that if he takes a hit as small Mario, he'll actually grow into big Mario, but if he gets hit at all, he'll die immediately. So exactly. You also don't want to get hit at all, because it makes it incredibly easy to die by just enemies.
Yeah, because the concept of having a small hitbox and fire will actually turns into being big and not being able to take any damage. So we don't really want that.
Yeah, there's always a catch.
Coming up next, 4-3. Again, this is still a 3 or 4 seconds difference between the two. So very close race. So I think that this will be decided by the later levels, when actually the difficulty will ramp up a lot. And already starting from 4-4, I would say we may see the gap either widening or we even see a change of lead depending on how things will go. And speaking of 4-4, here we go. The first maze level, by the way. Here we have some branching paths. Only one leads you to Bowser, so you have to choose wisely which path you take. Of course, the player knows in advance which is the right sequence, so the maze aspect is not actually a threat.
This is also one of the harder Bowser fights, so
yeah.
Luckily for Darpey, Bowser jumped forward, so he was able to just run under him and get his shots on him.
And for Flex Retro, this time he got a very good Bowser pattern, so...
That's actually not the best pattern you want. if you're big fire in race format. He actually lost a bit of time because he had to slow down and fire him. With Darpey, he just ran right under the Fort Bowser and got his shots in and was able to do it faster. Yeah, Bowser in 4-4 is very tricky and unpredictable, so being able to just get through him at all in a race can be very difficult.
Both players did a great job with 4-4 Bowser, so they're both now going through 5-1. Darpey just beat it right now. Flex Letter is about to beat it. Still 4 or 5 seconds on difference.
You actually saw Darpey slow down a bit there. It looks like Flex isn't going to go for it, but that bill randomly shoots at the beginning there, and you don't know when it's going to fire, so it can easily hit you. So it's a gamble if you want to just try to make sure it doesn't shoot, or wait for it to make sure you don't get hit by it. So if this works out, Flex is actually going to gain a little bit of time over Darpey on this level, and it looks like he will.
Yes, definitely. Darpey actually got the extra bullet bill, and likely for Darpey decided not to challenge it because he would probably would have probably lost the fire flower there.
On this level, it's 1-3, but the bills are firing pretty much randomly, and you just gotta react to them as they fire at you. And some of them can be very difficult to dodge, so both players getting through without taking a hit is pretty impressive. But luckily they had some pretty good build patterns, so it wasn't too hard for them to get through. It looks like Darpey is actually challenging these fire bars here. It's a little easier with a small Fire Mario. You see Flex on the right here, he slowed down. He does that to ensure that the fire bars won't get in his way. So you're losing a little bit of time to ensure that you can not get hit by the randomly changing fire bars.
And here we can clearly see the advantage of having small fire against having big fire, because here in 5-4, the good patterns that allow you to go through the level without slowing down are much more for small Fire Mario than the big Fire Mario. Actually, most of the patterns for small Fire Mario are good, and only a few of them are bad. Whereas for Big Mario, almost all of them are bad. And this is why actually Darpey managed to increase actually the gap with Flex Rattling just in 5-4.
Coming up to the most fun level for most runners, you get to shoot a bunch of plants in your way, getting your fireball snipes in. It can be pretty difficult for new and upcoming runners, but if you practice this level enough, it ends up being pretty fun, as long as you just know when to shoot your fireballs.
Yeah, he has a very nice flow overall, I would say. Also, there's also still a little bit of variety in the strategy you can use, because at some point you have to slow down, because playing this level of full speed will lead you to some fireworks, so you have to slow down on purpose. And I've seen many players slowing down at different places. Most of them slows down at the end, like Darpey did. But Flex Retro, for instance, slowed down in the middle, for instance. But in the end, it's pretty much the same. The important is that you slow down at some point.
6-3 has a little bit of more randomly firing bills, so hopefully players will be able to get through this level.
No! Flex Retro mixed, unfortunately, the duck jump underneath the platform, and it takes the first death. And
I actually missed that.
And this can be a big problem for Flex. Losing the power up there can be very bad, because right now, from now on, rebuilding from scratch will be very, very hard. But it's still not over for Flex. For sure, now he has to rebuild and get from that piece widening, but it's still not over yet for him. He still has to keep fighting for sure. But in the meantime, Darpey beats 6-4 with a pretty clean execution, I would say.
Yeah, he's blazing through the castle levels. It's a lot easier to do the castle levels with small fire, but even still, he's just going right through them as if they're just nothing at all.
Yeah, it is easier, but we still have to react to what the Podobos do. And if you don't have the spreadsheet from which you can actually read the pattern in advance, it's pretty impressive. I mean,
yes, very
nicely done from Darpey. Darpey is pulling off a pretty good race, a very big race. Also, Flex Retro is playing really well, but unfortunately, that death in 6-3 may cost him the game.
Unfortunately for him as well, 7-1, you want to have fireballs here, because these bros, just like that, will almost always get in the way.
Yes, exactly. And now he has
Luckily,
to
there
face
is
the
one
second
more
round.
power-up he can grab at the end.
Oh, no.
That's
this
just unfortunate. Look at that
This is
bill.
unfortunate, yeah. That bill was unfortunate. He also managed to avoid the second gauntlet of Farmer Brothers. And then he missed the following jump and he bumped against the bullet, the cannon, and then he got very unlucky having the bullet be shooting there exactly as he approached the cannon. That was really, really unfortunate. But it recovered pretty well. He managed to beat the Hammer Brothers again, claiming his mushroom, and now he is going to face 7-2 without Fire Flower. 7-2 can be pretty tricky without fire, but nevertheless, he will be able to pull it off, hopefully.
We'll see if
let's
he activate a glitch here.
Yeah, looks like he's still
not going for it. If
yeah.
you duck and then press A to do a swim, you'll actually enter what's called duck swimming, and your hitbox will be cut in half because his hit. Okay, I think he just activated it. So now the top half of Mario won't get hit by any hitboxes because his hitbox is actually the same size as Small Mario or Ducking Mario. They're both the same.
Yeah, Flexator is going through 7-2 pretty smoothly, but in the meantime, Darpey beats 7-3. Ooh, another pretty mean cheap patterns there, so he has to take another path and deviate a little bit from the optimum in order to reach the pipe. And now Darpey is in the second and last maze level. Here, branching paths are way more elaborate, and there are more choice to make in order to reach Bowser. Of course, players know already the pattern, so let's see how Bowser fight goes. Take slowly, but surely.
A little bit of lag there.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is a very tough power-up to get that Flex is going for. Oh, and very nice cheap kills there.
Yeah, thanks to Fire
It looks
Flower.
like he's going to be able to get through here with fire, so despite getting all hit in those levels, he'll be able to keep his Fire Flower for 7-4, and hopefully World 8.
Yeah, it's very important to Flex Retro entering World 8 with the Fire Flower. This will put Darpey a little bit of pressure because we want to remember that there are no checkpoints in World 8. So a single death in any of World 8 level may cost you a lot of time. In the worst scenarios, even half a minute. So in this way, Flex Retro is ready to actually take advantage of eventual Darpey's mistakes. We hope that, of course, nothing bad happens to Darpey, but at the moment, this is the only out Flex Retro has in order to take this game home, just to hope for some mistake from Darpey, of course. So, and now Darpey is in a pretty tough level, 8-2. It's not that tough with Small Fire. It's way more difficult with Big Mario, but still, it's a pretty scary level to go against.
Oh yeah, this is probably one of the most terrifying levels in a Warpless run. PB pace or Warpless pace, it doesn't matter. This level's just a pain sometimes, but it looks like Darpey's doing an actual... Oh, he's playing it very safe.
Yeah.
Probably smart in his position right now.
Yeah, it's definitely the way to go in this case. Probably knows that Flex Retro is a little bit behind, so he knows that he can afford not to take any unnecessary risk, especially in the very end of 8-2, where that Koopa is sometimes very, very difficult to predict. And if you are very unlucky and if you misread the Koopa's movement, most of the time you fall into the final pit and you have to restart the level again from the very beginning, just losing like 30 seconds, which is deadly most of the times.
A3 is another level you want to have fire in, because the bros can jump, throw their hammers randomly, and sometimes you just can't get through unless you know when exactly they're going to throw their hammers or jump. Even with fire, sometimes you can get a nasty bro and get hit.
Yeah,
so,
definitely. It's a
A3 is definitely a level you want to have your fire in.
Ooh.
Whoa! Showing off what I did.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking
in my race.
That.
Where you clip through an enemy's hitbox, so while you're inside the hitbox, you can't get hit until you leave it, and then go back and then hit it again.
The wall jump for Darpey in the meantime is completing 8-4, is very close to the end. When Flex Retro is about halfway through 8-3, so Darpey has this race in his hands. So I mean, there are still a couple of obstacles to pass, but it's mostly done. He's out of the water
really
stage.
Insane pace too. Let's see what happens here.
Pace. So he faces the last Bowser, he jumps through the hammers, and
that's gonna be close. I'm not sure if that's a 1929. It's going to be really close, but that's actually at least a second faster than Flex's PB. So
Wow.
for Flex to beat that, that would have been very, very difficult. So
Yeah.
congrats to Darpey.
Regardless.
That's an insane time.
Yeah, definitely. The timer says on the screen is 1930. Yeah, like you said, only a second. A second better
Oh.
than Flex Retro PB, and in the meantime, Flex Retro gets hit by a random
Yeah, you
chip
got
in
a
the turnaround.
pretty bad cheap pattern there. All right, so he's going to want to play it safe now because the ending room can be pretty difficult at Small Mario. So we'll see how he plays this out. Alright, he's playing it safe, which is probably the best idea you can do, and it looks like he's going to finish with a 2028.
That's still a nice time.
That's a very good time.
Yeah, considering the death and other troubles he had on the way, it's still a pretty solid time considering all the recovery he had to do, especially in War 7-1, probably the level he had most of the troubles, but everything else has been played very, very solidly by Flex. So GG to him, of course. GG to Darpey, who actually pulled off the win, and he will move on in the round 3, where actually we'll face.
Also this, but actually Flex won in score by 250 points. So I don't know. It's up to you. Who actually won?
I think that the overall time.
Yeah,
what really counts.
Probably.
So, and looks like we have both of them here in chat for the interview. So GG to Darpey and GG to Flex Retro. Very nice race from both of you guys.
Yeah, GG Darpey. That was fun. I made a few too many mistakes, I think, to beat someone like Darpey, but you know, it was fun. He is a school teacher, so today he took me to school, but you know, I figured it was kind of going all right. I didn't make too many big mistakes, but then in 6-3, I hit that platform, and it kind of went downhill from there.
Yeah, unfortunately, 6-3, you jumped a pixel too early.
Yeah, you know, I do most of my PB attempts with small fires, and I go underneath. It's kind of trickier when you're big since you have to crouch, but I usually get it. But I thought, man, this is gonna be the time where I miss it.
I actually missed it in my last race he had against Cosmic a couple of months
you
ago.
go,
I died exactly there.
You go down there too?
Remember. Yeah, I died more or less the same way. But I died because I didn't crouch.
Yeah.
And it was a different death than yours. You just jumped one pixel too early, and you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go top because I don't want to deal with that. I hate missing that by like a pixel.
It's a lot easier when you're small, and I'm just so used to that. I kind of decided I would just still try it, but
good game, Flex.
Yeah, good game, Darpey. That was you got a heck of a time. I
can't even take credit for that. I was practicing last night, and some of them were sub 20, but mostly they were pretty bad. So I think I just got lucky, and against my average run, you very well could have won.
Yeah, you've got the skills to put a run together like that, and you did it today, and you deserve all the credit for that.
Thanks, but your time was also really good. So
yeah, you know, it's not the worst. It was under 20-30, so I'm okay with that. I can have moments of brilliance, and I can have moments of failure, and today it looks like there was just a little too much of the ladder, and I guess I'll use that ladder to climb down into the second bracket. But I'm not done yet.
You proved yourself to be a pretty good runner. You pulled off a pretty good time, even with despite the deaths and despite all the recovery you had to do in World 7. So
yeah,
considering all of this, 2028 is a pretty good time. So for sure you will have you will be a threat in the loser bracket. I mean, the loser bracket everything can happen. So you're still into this tournament, and there's still room to come back and to still have a nice tournament.
Yeah,
and
that's
even
kinda...
to reach the end, you know. So why not?
Yeah, that's kind of my mindset when stuff happens, like in 6-3 when I took a death and thought, oh man, it's gonna take some time. But I thought, you know, this kind of stuff can also happen to your opponent. So like, they're not, you know, always gonna get a 1938. You know.
Yeah, to that point, you were really close. I mean, I think the gap less than 10 seconds, maybe even less than 10 seconds. You were really close until up to 6-3. And
Yeah.
in that exact moment, the gap start widening more and more, of course.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
up to that point, the race was pretty close. And unfortunately for you, Darpey, after 6-3, pulled off a pretty impressive 6-4. And I would like to ask to Darpey if actually you just tried to react to what the Podobo did, or if you was aware of it, just react.
Yeah, I attest to this, but you can't just react you can't go fast and react in 6-4. You need to know what's happening. And I'd shout out to Xerox Fiend for just this morning actually, he extended the spreadsheet, which allowed me to know where I was in 6-4. So I looked on the spreadsheet.
So
I knew
you didn't react. Oh, okay, so you used the spreadsheet. Okay.
I knew what was going to happen, so I just trusted in the spreadsheet and went for it. It worked out.
Yeah, because yes, it was pretty. It was actually, you didn't take any extra hit compared to what is the standard strat. So the spreadsheet was actually reliable in this case. Also, I know that if you wanna react, also what I thought, I wasn't really sure that you actually react to the buttons, because usually when you want to react, what you want to do is to go bottom the first, and to react only to the second one, because you can always jump underneath the first spot, and then in the meantime you jump underneath the first one, you can see what the second does and react.
Yeah. If you jump underneath the first one, which you can always do, and then you pause for a little less than a second, a couple frame rules, then the rest of it is easy. But if you know what's going to happen, you can always get through also.
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's the royal strats. But for instance, I think Sonic did it last night. I think confirm me GTAce if I'm wrong. If I'm right or not, he jumped underneath the first and then he reacted afterwards. But still, I mean, I actually being able to keep track of the spreadsheet up to this point in a race is pretty impressive too. So props to you, Darpey, for doing something like this. So.
I was super happy with that run. I mean, I've been practicing a lot, but anything could have happened. And so good game to Flex. He played really well. I had a really good run this time.
Yes, definitely you did. And also he played safe A-2, so I mean, on the end, of course, you don't want to take any necessary risk towards the end, especially in A-2, because A-2 is a mean level, especially in the end. So definitely some smart moves, very quality play from both of you guys, I would say. So it was this race has been the another confirmed that this year tournament is running at a very astonishing level. So we already had a lot of sub 1930 rounds or 1930s at some point.
Yeah.
And the level this year is going to be incredible.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot more stiff competition this year, and
yes, actually, in my opinion, it's actually pretty hard to even think of. I mean, a possible top 3. And I think there are a lot of runners that can potentially reach the bottom of the tournament and competing for the final win. So it will be a pretty exciting one. So I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to see more, honestly. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, next week I'll play the winner of 50 and not GTAce and Roy. And I'm not sure what Flex does. Thanks to GTAce and Call for commenting, and Flex for being a great competitor.
Yeah, thanks you guys.
Now, if Flex will face the loser between Roy and 50% Gaming. So actually your round 2 were paired. So the winner, Darpey will face the winner, and Flex will face the loser.
That's interesting. That's cool.
So
all right, well, I look forward to it. Hopefully, I can clean up my 6 and my 7. But you know,
I mean, you're just gonna lucky. When you miss a jump, you can fairly say.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to start going top there. I just jumping across those platforms always felt weird, so I started going bottom. But like I said, with small fire, it's a lot easier.
Yeah,
jumping up top is something you need to get used to.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, to be fair, the bottom route is useful only if you want to go for first 5 and 6. That's the only reason you want to do that. And otherwise, taking the top of the bottom route is pretty much the same. If you're doing something wrong, GTAce, please, you can.
No, that sounds good.
You can correct. But right,
neither route is any slower. If you're going
before
for, like, the regular frame
closing the stream, I would like to give you a little bit of preview of what is coming next for what concerns scheduling. Let me just open so that we can see. Oh, the next race is gonna be at least the next race in the calendar is the my race between me and Skyhoppers at 3 p.m. Friday, and at the same time, this is probably the most close and interesting and exciting match of entire round 2 in my opinion, with the Kate versus London B, and that one's gonna be incredibly good. London B is it's the defending champion, and Tecate is just rampaging through the leaderboard right now. It's practicing like a lot, and pretty sure that race will be amazing to watch.
Kate's gotten a lot better since he was seeded too. So he's been improving quite a bit and very fast in Warpless.
Yeah. And the same day we also have more race, including 50% gaming and royalty, which is the match you, Darpey and Flex are more interested with, because from that match you will know your next opponent and all the other one in the weekend. And this weekend we will actually complete round 2, and from the next week we will see round 3 matches. Looking forward to those.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, guys, if you don't have anything else to add, I think that we are done with this commentary for today.
Yeah, just want to thank everybody for everything they did.
Thanks
everyone.
For
thanks for their respective roles.
Yeah. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Thanks again to Darpey and Flex for the amazing race and for the amazing time they pulled off. Thanks to GTAce, of course, for commentating with me.
Thank you as well.
And thanks to all of you in the Speed Gaming chat for commentating and cheering for both of our runners, and of Speed Gaming, of course, for hosting us, and to all the admins of the tournament for doing a great job at making this happen. So that being said, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you, everybody.
Until next time.